Like, I saw all of his junk, and he was making eye contact with me and said something along the lines of, like, did I want to help?
Jeez,
And
did
like,
you?
No.
Oh my god! I'm kidding. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tether Radio Podcast, the only podcast keeping you from spiraling out into the infinite abyss. I'm your host, Daniel, and I'm joined, as always, by Hamboat. I'm sorry, I misspelled the big child son of a...
I've got all the names.
I know, right? Allie, what is up, girl?
What's up?
Oh, my God. Well, how was your week?
Man, it was pretty good. It was nothing really exciting other than I bought way too much shit online.
Yeah. Oh my god. Allie and I were actually just talking about pre-show. She found basically true crime trading cards.
Yeah, a friend of mine, like our murder book club, got together for our like Christmas book swap thing, and I ended up with these true crime trading cards, and they're so cool.
Are they like widely available? Do you have to buy them online?
I think she bought them on Etsy, she said.
Oh, Etsy.
But they're not like homemade, so that's weird to be on Etsy, but
it is kind of strange.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
As long as I don't have to go to eBay. I hate eBay.
Oh, dude, I know. Well, I feel like everybody's just scamming.
I know. I've got
everything.
scammed a couple times on eBay. Like I sold some like pretty good quality earrings one time, and they got delivered, and then the guy was like, oh, they never got delivered, and he like contested it, and I was just out the money, and I'm like, this is bullshit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked.
It's just some garbage.
Yeah. Jeez. Huh.
But anyway, no, the true crime trading cards are awesome.
Yeah.
And they're real. I'll show you them later. I'll probably post a picture in our Facebook because they're really cool. They're like the back of them are like if you handed them to your parents, they'd be like, I can't read this because they're so detailed and so much writing on the back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Huh. And you say that you actually found out about like new serial killers.
Yeah, there's some weird like cases that I don't know of, and some like killers and stuff. Yeah. And it was pretty neat. Yeah. And I got some heavy hitters. Like I got Richard Ramirez, and I got Howard Unruh, or however you say his name.
Is Ramirez the vampire one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And was he also he wasn't the Hillside Strangler?
No, it was the same time as
okay.
that. He was the Night Stalker.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I remember kind of that one.
Yeah, his was creepy.
But
yeah.
All right.
What about your week?
All right. I was trying to think about my week. Well, we decided to keep Finn out of daycare because RSV was going around.
I don't know what that is.
It's, I believe it's called respiratory syncytial virus.
Oh, you don't have to look it up. I mean...
Well, I feel like such a piece of shit for, like, whatever, being from a healthcare background and not knowing what an acronym is. But, let's see, respiratory... Yeah. Syncytial virus.
Oh, sure. Syncytial, yeah.
yeah,
Of course.
But basically, it's like it can be a pretty serious respiratory thing for kids and older adults. But basically, it was going around like rampant at our daycare. Yeah. And we found out that a kid in the room adjacent to Finn's that is separated only by a baby gate, that they always are constantly like reaching through and touching each other and all that shit. A kid was diagnosed with that in the room next door. So we were like, do we want to have Finn in daycare another 2 days or just bite the bullet and not have to deal with RSV? And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just keep him home. So, but it worked out fine. He's been doing a lot better, I think, now that he's feeling better. So.
Good.
But
man, I've still got this cold. I've had this cold for like a fucking month, and I like it. It
like
hit me. It hit me worse this weekend. And I was like, God, I'm still gonna be sniffling when we record. And
at least you have your voice.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
dude.
When I went to the UT USC game, oh my God! Like the next day, I had to like be chugging like tea and hot drinks and stuff just to like get my voice even remotely, back to its
need some of that throat coat tea. Have you ever seen that?
Throat coat?
That's really what it's called. Like they sell it at like Kroger and stuff.
Thick?
I don't know. I've never bought it. How can a tea be thick?
I don't know.
I will buy some so I can report back. I will make myself a note. Buy some throat coat.
Yeah.
Well, that's a weird note.
Oh, good.
Dude, if I ever misplace my planner, people are going to be like, what's wrong with this person?
Oh, my God.
Like, I seriously write, like, to-do lists, and I'll be like, deal with this bullshit with the bank.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so... I'm going to close some tabs and open some tabs, and... Dude, we actually have a pretty fucking jacked episode this time. This time around, number 79.
Woo-woo.
Just 10 off from the sex number. But, nice. So if we're going to go from here... Actually, you know what? I've got something pretty light to start off with.
All right.
How about that? So, you might have heard of this man in Uganda whose flatulence reportedly basically kept mosquitoes away from the village in which he lived for up to 6 miles.
6 miles?
So it was completely debunked, and it is not.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
I was like, dude, I don't know. Like,
I was concerned for his GI system, though. But
yeah. First of all, I want to know what the motherfucker's diet is,
dude.
And which I'd say you get some pretty gnarly food in Uganda.
Man, that's the kind that like wakes you up in your own sleep, and you're like, oh, what is that?
You're just choking. But yeah, so this guy, I still wanted to report on this.
No, it's great.
Even though it's completely been debunked.
Sure, it's still fun.
Yeah, a dude named Joe Rumirwama.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just going to rub my mouth as I talk into the mic.
Yeah, got it.
From Kampala, Uganda, claims that his farts are so deadly that they can kill mosquitoes even from a distance of 6 miles. And he was hired by... a insect repellent manufacturer to study his GI to see if they could harness the power of this man's gut.
Sir, will you please come over so we can inspect your butt?
Can you please fart in this cup for us? Thank you. But anyway, so yeah, this was completely debunked. So if you see it coming across the Facebook and all that stuff, been there, done that, debunked. Let's move on.
So sad.
So, but yeah. So basically, it was this report was circulated by a satirical website without evidence, which I always love. Have you ever seen when like Onion articles get picked up?
Yeah, man.
And people are like, no, it's real. It's from the Onion, and people are like,
yeah,
it's from the Onion.
Yeah.
But pretty fucking awesome. So
some of those spoof sites, though, they look pretty real if you don't know them by name.
The prose, is like pretty spot on for like.
Plus, especially when you get into some of that political stuff, like this could absolutely happen.
Oh, dude, yeah, totally. And it's like it's one of these things that the shit that is like more outlandish is somehow more often true.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I have one other little one to mention, just because it's light, it's quick, whatever, and then we can get into the meat,
I've got a quick one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So someone is putting tiny cowboy hats on pigeons in Las Vegas as animal rescue works to remove them. So this is really phenomenal. Even though, you know what, when you get into the meat of the article and everything, they're talking about, it's really funny and all that jazz, but how are the hats staying on the birds' heads? And, even though we didn't cover this article last week or the week before about a polar bear that had like T-34 sprayed in black paint on the side of it. The real issue is the fact that it's like, okay, does this mess with the birds' day-to-day activities and stuff, in that it makes it more apt to get, killed or become a rodeo star? I don't know. but yeah, so I think that it's one of those things that I think the main thing is the fact that the birds are being accused of cultural appropriation from the South. So
oh my god,
no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
But this guy that was interviewed about these, he was like, there's only one explanation, quote, the rodeo is in town. And I was like, yes.
I hope it's not their first one.
I know, right? Exactly.
I love it. And I want to think it's not harming anything. Like, I'm not sure how they're keeping it attached to their heads. So, like, if it's glued or stapled or something, like, that's bad and I don't want that. Yeah. But also, I just really like the idea of birds having nice hats.
Dude, this actually made me think of the Portlandia episode that it's like, put a bird on it.
Oh God!
Did you see that shit?
No, I know the reference.
Yeah. But it was pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, so we will post this in the show notes. Someone also made a video in this article that, like, it's this car driving by one of the pigeons that's, like, on the ground. Yeah. And it's got, like, its little hat and it's strutting. Yeah. And they just have howdy partner at the bottom of the video. So it's pretty fucking awesome. But.
That made me think of, I sent y'all this in our group chat this week, but the eagle versus the octopus.
Oh my God.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't make for good podcast, but like there's a couple pictures and it's wild. But basically there were some guys, I guess, on a boat and they were like, what's all this flouncing around over here in the water? And it was an eagle being in a battle with an octopus. Yeah. And it was wild. Gnarly. Yeah, they said they let it go for like 5 or 6 minutes and they finally like broke it up because they were like, this eagle's just being slowly drowned, and I can't watch that.
And that was because its wings were all extended.
Yeah, man.
And, like, I mean,
octopus are wild.
Yeah.
They are insane.
Yeah.
And they're so interesting, but they're terrifying because they're so smart.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I will post that to our Facebook because that's cool as hell.
Oh yeah. So I always love nature videos.
Dude, I love, like especially weird, like, crazy stuff. Yeah. Like you do not see that every day. That's for sure.
Not at all.
Oh, so my one quick thing that I've got, just a little update, kind of anticlimactic, but I wanted to come back to it.
Sure.
The Knox County School Board voted not to create a policy on the religious release time program that we covered a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. School board voted this week 5-4 against adopting a policy on the religious release time. My understanding is they can still do it. Mm-hmm. There's just not a policy on the county level about it. So statewide, like, there's already if you want to do this, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can make your own policy.
So it's almost like school to school kind of thing? Or?
This article was really vague and really weird, but it sounds like they're pretty much like, if a parent wants to take their kid out of school to go do like religious stuff, they can, because you can have up to 10 excused absences with a parent note.
Gotcha.
So like that's kind of I don't know, that's kind of out of left field. Like that's kind of weird, but the Satanic Ministry posted on Facebook that they're sad to not be moving forward with putting satanic studies for Knoxville school children during class time, but that pretty much they're going to keep their heads up. Yeah. They'll still be around.
Yeah. No, honestly, I mean, doesn't this, and not to go, whatever, a lot deeper into this or anything, but doesn't this kind of violate the, like, church and state kind of stuff?
Man, I will give them a little credit on that. There were a lot of specific things, like, the school cannot provide the transportation. Mm-hmm. It can't happen on school property. So they really... Basically, the only thing the school's doing is allowing them to not be marked absent from class.
Gotcha. Okay.
Everything else is very, like, they are keeping it pretty separate.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's still weird.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll keep an eye on it. So.
I will keep an eye on it.
There we go.
I was going to go to a couple of the school board meetings, and I was like, I really don't have a dog in this fight, and that's weird of me to go. Like, I'm not going to go.
It's really funny because even... I kind of agree, but I kind of don't agree that, because basically the school systems, I feel like everybody needs to kind of have a dog in that hunt.
Well...
Because we're shaping, in my opinion, our future, and it's like...
That's true. I'm
just
I'm like very much not gonna have kids. So
yeah, for sure. And I dig.
That was my biggest reason, was like, if someone was just like, "Why are you here?" I'd be like, I like religious arguments.
I lost my cat.
My cat's out here fighting for the Satanic Temple. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Hey, I've got another one on the satanic note.
Let's do it.
I heard about this from last podcast Side Stories this week, and I had to cover it.
All right.
Because this is absolutely going to be me one day. So this lady named Swati Rooney Goyle is I know it's a weird name. She's a 49-year-old woman from Key West, and she was asked by a crew member on her American Airlines flight on October 30th to change her shirt or she would be removed from the flight. Her shirt said "Hail Satan."
I feel like we're at a point in the world that it's like, what you have on your shirt really doesn't fucking matter.
And dude, I've seen some offensive shirts. Well, and there's a picture of this, and it really just says "Hail Satan, established 666," and has an upside down cross. Like, it's not crazy.
Yeah, well, so my thing is like, do you remember that shirt that was kind of big in like late 90s, early 2000s?
Please be the "Make 7 Up Yours" shirt. Is that what you're going to talk about?
But that's amazing. The one that it was like, "Fuck you, you fucking fuck," or something like that.
Yeah, that was from some old movie. It was a quote from a movie.
It was, but the point is like,
people were wearing it.
Yeah, which, I mean, yes, I used the F word, and I probably use it entirely too much. I have to use it on here, so I don't use it around my 2-year-old. So, but I mean, that's, in my opinion, way more offensive than like whatever, having some "Hail Satan" shirt or whatever. Yeah. It's like, dude, the shit exists and it's fine, whatever.
And I have
shield your child's eyes.
I have a shirt in my Amazon wish list that I just haven't got around to buying because I have too many t-shirts. Yeah. But it's a possum and it says something like "Eat trash, Hail Satan." I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah.
And I could totally see myself wearing it to an airport and getting into some sort of kerfuffle like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just so stupid.
I know, man. Well, I flew wearing my Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer shirt, which has really creepy art on it too, and it's just, I love that shirt.
Yeah.
But it was in my like heavy t-shirt rotation at the time, and I just put it on. I had an early flight, and I wasn't thinking about it. And I was like walking into the airport and being like, "Oh, this might be bad," because airport security is just so nuts, Yeah. So I'm like, shit, I shouldn't have wore this. Like, I just don't want to. You can easily avoid that scene,
Yeah. Oh no, and that, I guess that's kind of, I don't know.
But nobody made a fuss, and actually a TSA agent, like, waved at me from, like, across security to give me a thumbs up and a big grin, and I was like, okay, that's great.
But I feel like I would put that under the same category as the Epstein didn't kill himself stuff.
Well,
no, I mean, I just, which Allie also has that
I do have that shirt, too.
But my point is that it's not offensive.
No.
Or at least, to me, it is 100%
it's maybe
not
outspoken.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry. Don't we live in the United States? Where,
what happened to religious freedom?
Yeah. Or, hell, dude, the freedom of speech.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, dude.
So that was the whole thing. She is a member of the Satanic Temple, and she bought the shirt to support them. But, again, like I've mentioned before, they're non-theistic, and they don't worship Satan.
Yeah, you know what we need to do?
Like, they're just activists.
I think that we might need to do, like, a little bit deeper dive on the satanic.
You think?
I really do.
I would like to.
I think, honestly,
it's interesting as hell.
I would not only like to know more about it, just because it doesn't appear to be what it actually is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll cover that.
I don't know. But
put that on my to-do list.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she, they do have a rule, according to their website, for American Airlines. Passengers are required to dress appropriately and avoid, quote, offensive clothing. But the rules don't specify any further, so that's totally up to the crew members. I know.
That's so annoying.
Like, and I guess they put it that way so you can use your better judgment to be like, "Ma'am, your ass is hanging out. You can't get on the plane in those shorts," or something, But... So at first she refused to change, but the crew wouldn't let up, and they brought a customer service rep on board to reiterate that the shirt was offensive and that she would not be allowed to continue wearing it on their flight. And this is a quote from her. She said, "I'm just an ordinary looking person. I'm not goth. I don't have piercings. I wasn't wearing a shirt that had a goat being beheaded on it.
Yeah.
I was wearing LL Bean hiking pants and vegan sneakers. I couldn't look like more of a nerd." So she ends up emailing American Airlines about it, and they kept sticking up for their policy. Then she tweeted at them, and surprise, then they apologized.
Get out of here. Ugh. Can't be looking bad on social media.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well,
so anyway, that's my future.
That's my future. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, where are we going to go from here?
What do you have?
I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and hop into the runner who slapped the reporter's butt on live TV, identified as youth minister. Of course he was. So, first of all, I want to preface this entire discussion with anybody that slaps someone else's ass, be it male or female, don't care, and you don't know that person from fucking Adam.
I can't imagine.
That is literally the most inappropriate thing ever.
I really would punch a fool.
Yeah.
I would.
I would expect, to be punched if I was ass slapping, you know? And so basically, if you didn't hear about this, this lady is doing she was a newscaster for, let's see, where was she? It was in Savannah, Georgia, and she was covering a 10K race for WSAV TV. Her name's Alex Bazarjian.
Oh boy.
I guess Bazarjian. I don't know, I probably slaughtered that, but
at least you didn't slap it on the ass.
Oh, there you go. But anyway, so she's covering this race, and of course you have people running behind her and throwing up peace signs and waving and whatever, trying to get their 2 seconds of the limelight. Then this random dude just fucking comes out of left field and slaps her on the ass. She is 100% taken off guard, as anyone would be. And but she actually recovers pretty well for the news stream.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I completely agree. I am not apologetic for this dude.
No. By
any fucking stretch of the mind.
No.
But I feel like this is being sensationalized at this point. That it's you know what? I would seek out fucking sexual assault charges against this guy. I would do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, she's quoted on here that it's now I want to hear your take on it, okay?
Oh boy.
He helped himself to a part of my body.
Now.
And inundated with, and it's not okay to help yourself to a woman's body just because you feel like it. It's not playful. He hurt me both physically and emotionally. Okay, wait. Well, I think there was one more. Yeah, here we go. I think what's most important, and these are all quotes from the newscaster. I think what's most important here is he took my power, and I'm trying to take that back. I want to take my time with that. So I feel like it's kind of, you know what I'm saying?
It's a stretch.
So, like I said,
the dude's wrong. He's absolutely wrong. He should not have done it.
Yeah.
But also, he took your power. Okay, yes, it's technically still assault, but it is not the same as other things that could have happened.
Yes. Yeah.
Even God, I don't want to make a scale or a spectrum of this, but he didn't grab your boob.
Yeah.
Which I feel would be worse. You know,
struggling to come up with,
or he didn't come up and give you an open mouth kiss.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to say it could have been worse because it's not right, and that does fuck with you.
You know,
and,
me, I probably would have shrugged it off. Yeah. But also, if it legitimately affected you that, dude, fucking A.
Also, there's a whole you may want to rein me in because I may go on a tangent of this, but there's this. There's this whole thing of a lot of men probably don't realize how much this bullshit happens to pretty much every woman.
Yeah.
And when you really get sitting down talking with female friends of yours, yeah, every friend of yours probably likely has not been raped, but many of them have. And many of them have been in some way assaulted, at least with a boob grab in a crowded bar, or an ass slap by someone in a crowd, or especially a grab or a pinch or something in a crowd where you can't get away.
Yeah.
Like, go to, like, a big-time concert. You're, like, I never crowd surfed because I didn't want to be groped all to hell.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And
that sucks.
Yeah.
But
ridiculous.
But there's so much, like, I read a really well-put-together article from a woman that was just, like, pretty much documenting all the sexual assault adjacent type things that had happened to her in her life. And it was so overwhelming to read because you realize reading that, you're like, this shit has happened to me literally dozens of times. Like, the bullshit, like, I got out of my car one time. No, I was getting into my car one time at a mall in college, and this old man was in the car beside me and, like, had his dome light on and had his legs out in the, like, out in the parking lot. He was probably in his 70s. I couldn't get to my door because of how his door was arranged, and I, like, kind of, like, smiled and, like, kind of motioned at the door, and he started talking to me. I couldn't really tell what he was saying. He was full out masturbating. Like, I saw all of his junk, and he was making eye contact with me and said something along the lines of, like, did I want to help?
Jeez,
and
did
like,
you?
No. Oh my God. I'm sorry to get so dark, but, like, that's just one thing, and you're just so stunned, and
I'm not making light of it,
but anyway. It fucks with you, and, like, if you get to talking to your female friends, they've all had some bullshit like that happen to them. They've all had, like, and you, like, it's so hard to fight back at the moment. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, you feel threatened as hell. Like, you're 70, but also, like, your dick's out. Like, I'm 3 feet away from you. I gotta go.
Not only that, dude, like, let's take it a step further. Sure. It's like, okay, if this dude is, like, off his rocker to the point of masturbating in a fucking parking lot, right? What's to say he doesn't have a knife or a gun or something that you say, no, I don't want to help, and he fucking pulls that, you know?
So I mean,
and
and not, like, not to even be, like, one-upping myself, but, like, that's not the worst shit, you know? Like, and that's just awful, and every woman has these just dozens of these bullshit stories that they've been through.
But see, that's why I honestly think, you know, do I think this guy needs to, and obviously I'm not a fucking, professional legal.
Sure, we're not attorneys.
Yes, we're not attorneys.
No, like, I don't think the guy needs prison time, but like, he needs some trouble.
Needs to have been. It needs to be addressed, and he needs to fucking. It needs to be made crystal fucking clear to this dude.
Yeah, that you can't do that.
Not behave like this in society. No, period. You know,
and so it's just this whole, like, yes, you might want to say, like, it's just an ass slap, get over it, but, like. On my list of my life bullshit that I've been through, that's one more fucking bullet. You know?
No, and it's
garbage.
That's why I liked this story for the reason that, in my opinion, it's almost like, okay, well, I understand kind of making an example of this dude because clearly he's not a very good decision maker. Yeah. And it needs to be addressed. Yeah. But then it's again one of, you know, the other side of me is kind of like, okay, I get it. He slapped your butt. It was completely inappropriate. It needs to be addressed. But did he really, like, take away your power and you know, and like
but I guess it's just one of those, like, that might be the straw that breaks that camel's back.
And you're right.
You know?
You're
like,
right.
Yeah. Or that may be your third ass slap of the week. Yeah. Like, you don't know what somebody else has gone through.
She just looks at the camera and she's like, if one more motherfucker.
Here he comes and she just, like, explodes. But no, it's wild and people don't. And also, this guy's a fucking youth minister.
Oh, dude,
He needs to set a better example.
Oh, no argument.
My hairstylist, I love her. We are very different people. Yeah. Megan went to her. Like, yeah. She's great. I love her. She's super, super, super involved in her church. She's very active with the youth group. And she makes a conscious decision not to really, like, absorb any kind of media that she wouldn't be comfortable with them, like, watching or listening to or something. So, like, she would not listen to our podcast because that's a choice and because we talk about porn news and we say fuck a lot. And that's fine, you know? But, like, she rarely watches a rated R movie. Like, she just doesn't, and she's not even, like, she's not the youth minister. She's just, like, some sort of, like, affiliate with that.
But see...
And that's a good way to live your life, man.
And that's the thing, is because it's like, what you do you kind of thing.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, if you don't, whatever, your beliefs or whatever don't align with this thing, don't fucking be around it. You know, remove yourself from the situation. But sometimes that's the best
You need option. To always be a role model if you're a damn youth minister.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
I don't care about your own sex life or whatever you do behind closed doors, but, like, slapping the ass of someone in public, slapping the ass of someone you don't know, slapping the ass of someone on fucking TV?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. So we've got that side of this, which, by the way, just to kind of, I don't know, give a little bit of an update on that, because the original story was probably like 3 or 4 days ago, something like that. She has officially filed a sexual battery report with the Savannah Police Department. She filed that on Monday, so the ass slap actually occurred prior to that.
The ass slap heard around the world.
The ass slap heard around the world. My God, I love it. But yeah, so this is the other thing that I'm obviously this is a hypothetical.
Sure.
But so what if the shoe is on the other foot?
Okay.
Let's put a male newscaster out there, and a female runs by and slaps his butt.
I think he is still entitled to the same amount of, like, anger and hurt and disbelief, but
do you think it would get covered?
I don't think he'd act on it.
Yeah.
Probably because a lot of men take that kind of thing as a compliment. And a lot of men just think it's funny and shrug it off. But there's that whole power thing of, like, yeah, it's funny in theory and just as, like, a punchline of a joke. But, like, realistically, like, men don't get sexually assaulted by women nearly as often as the other way.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like such a threat. And, like, I don't know, like, just my story in the Penny's parking lot. Like, if that was turned around and it was a woman and she was, like, being all, like, terrible and perverse to you, like, you'd probably be like, this lady wants it, you know? And that's just, but that's just, it's a whole different dynamic.
So the other thing is, because you were talking about how it doesn't happen as often.
Yeah,
but
it happens.
I would also say it's underreported.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
Which, honestly, I would say all sexual assault stuff is underreported. Yes. Like, as a fucking whole.
Yes, yeah.
You know, but
I think it's just that men don't feel as threatened by that, generally.
That completely makes sense.
Yeah, so...
That completely makes sense, yeah.
Also, I hate to generalize all that much. There's obviously a ton of exceptions to all of it.
Yeah,
but
and obviously, we are skimming the surface
of
very
much.
An extremely complicated topic. So, but yeah, so anyway, I hope that I hope this guy, like you said, I don't think he deserves fucking jail time.
No, but I don't think he needs to be a youth minister anymore.
No, I think that his youth ministry days.
I
hope to God they're fucking numbered.
I hope so.
So, because I would
for
agree.
Those youth's sake,
especially if somehow I don't think that my child will end up big into youth ministry stuff.
You don't think?
But having said that, I
think that's the thing. A lot of kids do. Like, even if you don't stay religious, like, a lot of us just in middle school and high school, like, all your friends were doing it.
Thing,
so
right?
like everyone did, like, not everyone, but like a lot of people did churchy things just because all your friends at school were doing the churchy things.
Totally. I did. Hey man, you're literally talking to one of those people.
Now, I did it too.
I went to one, and there, like, literally my eyes were rolling so much the entire time, because it's just one of these things. And you know me, I'm an extremely traditional individual.
Sure.
And so with religion, I'm very traditional.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Jesus is cool. You know, I think that Jesus is Jesus, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's like, no, don't like get me fireside, you know, with your acoustic guitar and tell me that we're gonna kick it with Jesus. So, but anyway, I'll get off my youth ministry soapbox.
Hey, can I stay on my sexual assault soapbox?
Do it.
Sort of sexual assault.
Right.
On Monday, the Supreme Court decided to review Kentucky's extreme anti-abortion law, allowing the measure to stand.
Okay.
So under this law, known as HB2, This is a quote. Doctors must conduct an ultrasound, describe the fetus in great detail, and play the sound of its heartbeat before performing an abortion. So in early pregnancies, which from the way this put it, it sounds like up to about 9 weeks, they'll be forced to insert a transvaginal probe. Like this is like a new requirement to get an abortion. The Supreme Court's refusal to consider the legality of HB2 indicates the liberal justices don't trust that the conservative majority will affirm the constitutional rights. Basically, the Supreme Court decided not to hear this and just to let it stand because it sounds like it might have got worse if they went to the Supreme Court with it.
Okay, so I'm
well, I'll get more into it.
Okay, yeah, so please.
So HB2 is called an informed consent requirement. Supreme Court approved a milder version of this in 1992's case, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, allowing Pennsylvania to provide anti-abortion materials to patients who could decline to read them. Okay. So basically that law said, okay, as a doctor in Pennsylvania, you can give like pretty much propaganda that's like, you are killing babies, do not get an abortion, paperwork to your patients who can be like, no thanks, I don't want it. Like they don't have to read it.
Yeah.
But, so this law goes further, forcing doctors to not only play the fetus's heartbeat, but also to point out its organs. Any patient who wishes to avoid this information cannot opt out. The doctors must generally use a transvaginal ultrasound for pregnancies of less than 9 weeks to obtain images with the required detail.
Yeah, which, I mean, I went through all of this with...
Sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, the transvaginal thing I get.
Yeah.
I'm not sure... I mean, is this... I'm assuming what they're doing is trying to basically lay a guilt trip on the patient.
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing,
it's another way they worded. There was another article about like I think Virginia did a similar thing like this a while back, and the way they worded it in that was women who want an abortion will be forcibly penetrated for no medical reason, and like that sounds really extreme, but it fucking is. I
think that.
It's a bit of a reach.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I agree with you.
Sure.
This is a separate thought.
Yeah.
But it is... I don't agree with this, to be honest. Because I feel like if you've made the decision that you want to abort...
It's not an easy decision anyway.
It's not an easy decision in the first place. Yeah. And if you make that decision, it's kind of like... I'm sure that you just want it to be over, kind of thing. It would basically be like whatever. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I'm falling short. But it's basically like having to go through all this shit to earn the right to do that, and I disagree.
And I think most women have probably already thought all this shit through, and they probably have enough on their shoulders, and they probably feel plenty guilty already. And they really don't need this guilt trip from this bullshit doctor.
Yeah.
And it's really insulting because it implies that a woman who wants an abortion doesn't already, like, understand what she's doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know that it has a heartbeat, and you know that there are organs. Like, it grows into a full child.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And to imply that women don't get that, and that this is going to stop anyone, that anyone's going to be like, it has a heartbeat?
It's got a heartbeat. Now I want it.
I didn't realize. How dare you? And... Okay, this also means somebody...
Not for I'm sure that there obviously are.
I mean, it's going to change some people's minds, sure.
The vast majority, I would think now. Yeah, personally. So,
and also, like, for someone that is going to change their mind, like, good lord, like, just what a, I don't know, give them counseling if they want it.
Yeah,
talk to them and be there for them.
That's my thing. Regarding all this shit, give them the opportunity to get the stuff that, like you said, counseling, or if they want to have this procedure done, fucking do it.
Like, if you want to be like, will you describe everything about it to me? Then sure.
Yeah.
But, like, you're already going through it. You don't want to hear all these details. You do not want to hear the heartbeat.
No.
I
don't agree. Honestly, I'm just stoked that they're talking about this early in the pregnancy. Because earlier
is always better.
I'm a pro-choice person.
Sure.
And it's because I think that it's
a complicated thing.
It's a complicated thing. But I think once the rubber meets the road, I'm 100% pro-choice kind of thing.
And even if that doesn't mean you'd be okay with it for your own family, it's still that you think other people should make their own decisions.
Yeah. You know? And yeah, it's one of these situations that what always comes to mind for me is, okay, so first of all, you don't allow abortion, so they either seek it out on some, like, fucked up manner to get an abortion, or they go through with having the child, and it ends up neglected and all these fucking problems.
Or they try to do an abortion themselves. That happens, and that's awful.
And so, I mean, I you know... Yeah. Would I personally have an abortion? No, I wouldn't. Well, but I think that other people, you know, should have the option.
And also, like, never say never, because you don't know what circumstances. I mean, and for you don't have a uterus, as far as I know.
As far as I know, also.
But you know, and it also, it's just, this potentially means that somebody who was forcibly raped, who got pregnant.
Always, I completely agree, dude.
So
and
they
it's just gonna be a reminder
they made
of
this
that fucking scenario the rest of your fucking life.
Well, that and you make this terrible, awful decision that you feel bad about, and that no one's happy to have an abortion. You know, So you make this hard choice, and then you might have to really be re-traumatized again because somebody's right back in there to, like, tell you the details about its organs.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just
let people
excessive.
Go, man.
Yeah,
that's
excessive.
awful.
For sure.
I don't know. I don't get, like, are you trying to be awful to women? Well, like, who makes these laws?
Well, and that's the thing is, like, because I would think, I'm speaking. Well, that's what I was
old white
say.
men.
I would think that probably there are a majority males. I'm hoping that there were some females to opine and fucking, you know, but I don't really know. I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, it's just I don't think it's as gray of an area as a lot of people put it out to be in regards to. I just think that people should have the choice.
Sure.
You know, I mean, do I think that like whatever the, you know, and obviously I'm literally just asking another question.
Yeah.
But, like, do I think the state should have to pay for it or something like that? You know,
right?
I don't know. That's where you get into the
that's
gray
complicated.
Area, you know, but in my opinion, But yeah, I think that, you know, making that decision, yes or no, to have a child, I think that's pretty fucking cut and dry.
Yeah.
So, but so let's go a little bit lighter.
Yes, please, please.
But we're staying medical.
Good, because I've got another medical thing too.
Oh, rock and roll.
Yeah. What do you got?
I have the top 10 health questions. Oh, you know what?
Oh, I'm pumped about this.
I probably should have kept this for our New Year's, but
this will be a teaser for what's to come.
Yeah, actually, and I might be able to do a little research and figure out for the decade.
Sure.
Because this is just 2019.
Yeah, so. Maybe you could do the top question of each year or something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, top 10 health questions America asked Dr. Google in 2019.
Dr. Google.
So, people had a lot of questions about blood pressure, which doesn't surprise me in the least. You know, with the whole Dr. Google stuff, most of the time people are going to have ailments and then they look it up, which I do not recommend anyone to do this.
They always think it's brain cancer.
Yeah, because it literally, I mean, you could have like whatever, a lesion on your thumb that was caused from like whatever.
I have a mystery cut on my thumb and I'm like, did you know about this? Leave me alone.
It's like, so you look it up and it's like, oh my God, yeah, I've got a, brain carcinoma or something or whatever. But yeah, so people were really concerned with the high blood pressure. Number 2, what is keto?
Oh no!
So I was just like, oh my gosh. So, but like with any, and I would probably call it a fad diet, right?
I think so. I think it's very, what was Atkins was the last one.
Yeah,
I think it's the new Atkins.
So is it, I mean, it's basically a reskinned Atkins.
Pretty much, yeah.
Isn't it?
Pretty much.
But anyway. So they were really interested in that. This was where it kind of took a weird spin. How to get rid of hiccups. And then, like, the number 5 question was what causes hiccups.
What the fuck?
It was like people were really obsessed with the hiccups in 2019 for some reason.
Like, hiccups are annoying, but, like, I'm not that concerned when I have them.
Yeah. Which there are, and I can't remember, it was either a medical procedure or a medication, which obviously does not help any, whatever, that my description of this is ridiculous. But you can get irretractable hiccups.
Oh, no. See, that, I would kill myself.
Yeah.
Like, that would
be the worst.
That's not okay.
Yeah. But so, just to go through the rest of the list, number 4 was how long does the flu last? Number 5, what causes hiccups? 6, what causes kidney stones? 7.
Hey, you know what can?
What's that?
Keto.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I bet
those are probably related.
That's interesting. Yep. Yeah.
I learned that pretty recently. A friend of mine was doing keto, and she lost a lot of weight, and she had good success with it, but she, was getting kidney stones because you have so much more, I guess, the protein. And one of the big things with the keto diet is the fact that people are supposed to stay super, super hydrated. Yeah. And dude, that you want to talk about curing lots of ailments in the United States? Fucking hydration. People don't realize how dehydrated they are. I know.
Most of the time,
And no one ever told me that drinking more water could make me get fewer headaches.
Dude.
Years of having miserable headaches.
Yeah.
And no one suggested, have you drank enough water?
Yeah. It's kind of kooky.
Oh my God.
It really is. Okay, so number 7, what is HPV? Number 8, how to lower cholesterol. I mean, some of these make sense, like blood pressure, cholesterol,
Yeah.
Hiccups, I don't know, maybe. 9, how many calories should I eat a day? And number 10, how long does alcohol stay in my system? So I thought this was funny because there was another one. Oh no, where was the other one? Because there was another list that had previously whatever top 10 questions kind of thing. And it was really funny because last year's was how long does weed stay in my system, and this year's is how long does alcohol stay in my system. So I think the pendulum is just swinging around in the drugs for the U.S. So
man, I've got one little side thing I wanted to say.
What's up?
A friend of mine that gives me a lot of good podcast content he'll be like, here's this crazy news story, and I'm like, I gotta cover that.
Yeah.
He also hates podcasts, so he'll never listen. But he's from Shelbyville, Tennessee, and their local newspaper is just wonderful.
Yeah.
And he reads the crime news pretty regularly, and he'll just send me a giant. So this is one he sent me super late last night.
Oh, that's awesome.
The last ever day of court activity at Bedford County Courthouse on Wednesday did not pass uneventfully. Okay, side note, I don't know if the courthouse is moving or I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Irrelevant.
Abigail Mae Thomas, 40, of South Maple Street, allegedly attempted to carry crystal meth into the courtroom within 2 containers in her clothing. A deputy found the containers when a metal detector at the entrance alerted. She was charged with possession of a Schedule II drug and held on a $5,000 bond. Why are you bringing crystal meth into the courtroom? And then one more bullet point. A Cascade High student was charged with simple possession after allegedly showing marijuana in class Friday. The resource officer confiscated a cigarillo and 1.3 grams of marijuana. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Jeez.
Their local news, their crime blotter or whatever, is so great because it'll be Mary Lou's shovel was taken from report. She thinks sometime early in the week.
Yeah.
She's not sure last time she seen it, but she was sure it was on the porch.
Yeah. She's offering a small reward for anybody to bring that shovel back. It's a family heirloom. Oh, that's amazing.
Small town news is great, man.
It really is.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
I do have one more medical, dude.
What's that? Let's do it.
So this blood thing, this is weird. I don't know if you saw my headline.
Yeah.
So America, this feels super sci-fi, and I'm here for it. America is one of the only developed countries in the world that pays people to donate blood, much of it sold abroad. And as commercial blood donations have soared, blood now accounts for 2% of the country's exports, more than corn or soya.
What? Wait, what is soya?
I think that's some other term for soy.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think it's like the overarching soy industry soy instead of just being soy. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, 70% of the world's plasma is of U.S. origin.
70%?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
I didn't even fucking know we exported blood and plasma.
I didn't either.
I never thought about this.
Yeah.
So one study found, and this story was more about like the people who donate blood for money, and it was really dark.
Yeah.
A study found that the typical blood seller derives a third of their income from selling blood.
Wait, what?
Basically, it's really poor people who are selling their blood, and that's a third of their income. And they're not making good money off of it.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, plasma you can make a little bit, but I don't think you can donate plasma that often. So,
this said the interviews with blood sellers show that they're a mix of disabled, working poor, homeless, single parents, and college students. And desperate Americans are allowed to donate twice per week.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That can cause health complications, but we don't know all the specifics because no one's done any damn research.
Oh, weird,
yeah.
Man.
So around 70% of donors experience health complications. Donors have a lower protein count in their blood, putting them at greater risk of infections and liver and kidney disorders. Mm-hmm. Many regulars suffer from near-permanent fatigue and are borderline anemic, and all this for an average of $30 per visit. And then one donor was interviewed and said she got turned away twice, once for being too dehydrated and once for being anemic. Being poor created a shitty paradox, this is her quote, where I couldn't eat, and because I couldn't eat, my iron levels weren't high enough to allow me to donate. So that was a week of a pay cut, money I desperately needed for rent and bills and meds. I never thought about blood as an industry.
Dude, I never thought the fact that somebody would be doing it so consistently that would be like a part of your income.
Yeah. Like I knew plasma you could get paid for donating, mm-hmm. and I'm not sure if you get paid for donating blood or if this is worded honestly, weirdly so that they're also including plasma with that.
Well, and I wonder if there's like, I know that with like blood drives and shit, that's
you don't get money at those.
No, you don't get shit. Yeah. You just get a cookie and some juice.
Sure, yeah. Which sadly might be the only meal people get in a day sometimes, God. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But man, this was all so dark. Like, it was very... I feel like I'm doing research for like Repo Man or something. Yeah, no shit. Like, really creepy.
That's pretty crazy.
I didn't realize blood was a paying thing. Like, I thought you like did a blood drive because the hospitals needed this blood type, and then
that's kind of how it's billed.
Yep.
You know, it's like.
But we're exporting enough blood that it's more than corn.
That's pretty fucking gnarly.
Isn't corn our thing?
I don't know.
I mean, apparently not. If 2% is blood,
yeah.
I don't know. It's really weird. Where did I get this? This was from Boing Boing, but they had some other stuff. Like they had some quotes from other reputable stuff. Just really, man.
That's pretty gnarly, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really.
It's really sad.
Yeah, because I think Megan's like a universal donor. Or something
yeah, Jesse is too. So like they
Jesse
want
was
his blood.
About, like he had too much blood or something.
Well, he had like
not to bring that up.
No, he had some weird levels with his blood, and basically like the more often he could donate blood, the better he would feel. Like he felt better after donating blood, but they only let him donate every it was 57 days or something. Yeah. So I don't know how these people are donating twice a week.
Yeah.
It really must be the plasma thing, where they take your blood, but they put it right back in?
Yeah.
But that wouldn't fuck up your other levels. I don't know, man. This is weird.
I would think that any time you're pulling somebody's blood out and, all that jazz, and it probably ain't the best.
Yeah.
But, which, by the way, listeners, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but my son does not sound happy downstairs, so.
Not happy.
But, which?
Poor baby.
Do you have any... Oh.
No, that was pretty much it. That was,
okay. Yeah. So, speaking of my son...
Yeah?
I pulled this one from NBC News. Hundreds of parents say kids wrongly taken from them after doctors misdiagnosed abuse.
Yeah.
So this is kind of one of those stories that I would put under almost like our penal system, that it's like...
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Except.
Yeah, exactly.
Except so much
of
the time.
With a huge fucking asterisk, you know?
Yeah.
And, but man, some of these stories are just gnarly stories. Because, just to go through a couple of them, parents in Michigan lost custody of their 6-week-old son after a doctor observed marks on the baby's abdomen and reported them as, quote, diagnostic of physical abuse. So then later on, after a judge decided that basically, wait a second, this is kind of strange, like, you know, you have these abrasions or whatever, or lesions, and they're like, oh, well, it was probably actually caused by the baby swing that the kid's in a decent bit, which... I'm like, honestly, I'm always like nervous when Finn comes up with like a bruise or something, because I'm like, I mean, fuck, dude, he's a 2-year-old that literally falls more than he stands. Yeah. And so it's
people
one
are
of
judgy
things,
though.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was born, my legs, like my legs were turned a little bit, so my feet were like basically facing in, like pointing at each other.
Yeah.
And they had to put casts on my legs to like straighten them out. And I never had any trouble with that. Like I didn't even know about that till I was way older. Mom told me.
Yeah.
But she said like they would have me out somewhere and I'm an infant in a double leg cast, and people are just looking at her like, you fucking monster.
Yeah.
And Mom's like, so she's fine. I didn't even do it.
Dude, they literally, one of the lines in this was like, whatever, a quote from one of the parents. They made us feel like we were monsters. Yep. Like, literally, because, I mean, we're talking about people that their kid was taken away, and they actually talk about this subspecialty of a pediatrician that is like an abuse specialist or something along those lines.
Sure.
And, which, I mean, you know, I'm obviously all for removing kids from abusive
I feel like that's a pretty universal, like, everyone agrees on that.
Yeah, right? But at the same time, man, it's like, so to go on with the narrative, I guess, there was another kid that got taken from, 4-month-old, got taken from his parents after a doctor told child welfare workers that bleeding in the boy's brain must have been the result of violent shaking. Then they go to find out that they overlooked an underlying medical cause or whatever, that the kid, it was like a congenital birth defect kind of thing. And so...
Have you ever heard of those cases where the kid has like the brittle bone syndrome or whatever that's called? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where like your bones just break really easily.
And it's funny that you would mention that.
Yeah.
There's a case, not necessarily that, but it's like this one kid had a vitamin D deficiency, which affects your calcium absorption. Yeah. And
so your bones are not hard enough.
Yeah, and I mean, so they were talking about like, oh, this infant had like broken ribs or like slight fractures in ribs and stuff, and the person's like, oh, well, it's completely because the child's being abused,
right?
And come to find out, they have this vitamin D deficiency that makes their bones more predisposed to breaking, and just with normal handling of a child, because I mean, dude, it's bizarre. I don't know if you've held like infants before.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh no, dude, I'm telling you, I hated holding my own son when he was really small because like
you're like, I'm gonna break him,
like toothpicks, like kind of thing, you know? Yeah. And but it's just it's really bizarre, and apparently this subspecialty, and it is called a child abuse pediatrician, but it's a growing subspecialty. And they're basically watch the children's hospitals and stuff for signs of abuse and for signs that could be misinterpreted as an abuse due to like really rare diseases, kind of thing. Yeah. But like, my God, man, it's, you know, and it's really hard to like just just take a stance on this.
I mean, like, because you want to say like, yeah, better safe than sorry, but also like you've ruined these parents' lives.
Yeah.
Likely the kid's life. Well, the kid's going to be very confused.
Dude, speaking of that, one of these cases, they had the parents incurred, I believe it was around $300,000 in legal fees.
Oh my God.
Trying to fight to get their kid back.
Yeah.
And then they got their kid back, and now their kid has to go to therapy because they're not sure if they're going to be taken away from the parents again. Yeah. Even though,
of course,
this evidence was interpreted as abuse, but it obviously was found to not be abuse at all.
That poor family.
So, I don't know, man. It's just, it's really, it sucks because we're dealing with children that, like, you know, and most of the abuse is by a family member.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm sure the kids are probably afraid because that's the only people that they feel safe around.
And
but
when
it's
you're
also
so
the
young, you know, an adult can say something like, if you tell your mom, I'll kill her.
Yeah.
And like,
and
they're terrified, and of course they believe that, and or like, this is normal, but it's our secret.
Yeah,
you know,
or just whatever. What is some kind of super effed up justification for the actions and stuff.
Yeah.
But man, it's just it's one of these scenarios that my heart goes out to him because I was raised in a family that spanking was not off the fucking table.
Sure.
Now.
Sure. That was a different
I had
time.
other friends. Yeah. That was a different time.
Yeah.
But even in our family now, Finn will get spanked, you know. I'm now spanked. I'm not saying that you're not beating him.
You're not,
Yeah, and the other thing is my hand only.
Sure.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't using fucking, you know, tree branches or wooden spoons or any belt or whatever. That's, in my opinion, that's fucking abuse.
Yeah. And I think just a spanking is almost more of a, like, shameful thing for a kid than like a pain thing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and that's the thing, because I mean, like, it's literally like one swat.
Yeah, but it's so demeaning. Like,
oh, dude,
you can't put that into words when you're 2 or even when you're 8. But
and I think, but it also it terrifies me because it's like, okay,
where's the line?
Well, like, if I'm out and someone sees me like swat my kid on the butt, you know, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like I have the right to do that because I'm not beating my child, you know. But at the same time, it's like somebody else might see that and fucking report me, and then I end up in this situation. I'm just like, God,
that's terrifying.
Know. It's just a really complicated fucking mess, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I mean, they even talk about how 1,700 children die of abuse or neglect each year. And they were also talking about how basically if stuff goes not underdiagnosed but almost, well, I guess underdiagnosed as abuse, like that kid has basically like a 10% chance of like death. Kind of thing, because the abuse was not found.
And these doctors too, like I feel for them because I think they're coming from, you know, they've got everyone's best interest. You know,
like to think
they're trying.
Yeah,
you know, they're not like I mean, sure there are psychos out there, but for the most part, doctors are not gonna like just try to fuck up your family. You know,
and I don't think that. I don't think that in the least.
No.
But I also do think that there's probably a lot of cases where, for lack of a better term, books are judged by their covers.
Sure.
And it's like, oh, well, this family that, like, whatever, maybe like lower income or not as
affluent or
whatever that, you know, or not ignorant, but. You know, or maybe actually ignorance would be
uneducated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And these physicians and stuff look at these people and they're like, oh, you know, I wouldn't trust you further than I could throw you.
Like, of course you're beating your kid because you're trash. You know, and that's bad.
And
that's bad.
That sucks, man. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just, I don't know. Another fucking supremely complicated situation for the Tether Radio podcast to cover. So, but honestly, dude, any of our listeners, we would love to hear your take on this stuff because I think that in my opinion, the best decision is an informed decision.
Yeah.
And so it's like, dude, I would love to hear what you guys have to think or have to say about like any of these cases.
Yeah.
You know, that it's like the butt slap heard around the world, the kids being taken from their parents, justified or unjustified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any kind of like, I just like having like opinionated discussions with people who are decent.
Yeah, well, no, exactly. And that's the thing is like, the only way to get, in my opinion, more informed about stuff is to discuss it. Because that's the only time that you're going to hear perspectives that may differ from your own kind of thing. So, but yeah. So anyway, kind of a fucked situation, but yeah, we'll go ahead and cruise on. You
this one's kind of I don't know. I can't come up with a good segue here, all right. The outgoing Kentucky governor and also garbage person, Matt Bevin, has pardoned a bunch of terrible people. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about him?
I really, no.
He's awful,
really?
Like, in so many ways. That could be its own whole thing. But, but thankfully he lost in his election on November 5th. And since then, he's issued over 400 pardons. I'm not sure what the norm is, but that seems high.
But it also seems like one of these things that if you know, like, somehow your power should be more checked if you know that you're going to be leaving office.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this, and this is just whatever. Obviously, this is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's one of these things that it's like, I don't know, fuck it. I don't have to deal with this.
That's
shit,
how it feels.
That's
how it feels. So, former Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin issued a slew of pardons on his way out of office, granting relief to a convicted killer whose brother raised money for him, a man who had his business partner killed in cold blood, and another man who was convicted of a grisly murder and corpse disposal.
I don't understand how you can pardon people that have been like fucking murdered.
I mean, that should be very few and far between. Like, there's been, oh man, I can't think of it. There was a big time pardon in Tennessee this year. Yeah. The girl was a sex worker and she was like 15 and she murdered a guy and she got sentenced to life and they ended up commuting hers. Like, a lot of celebrities were involved. Like, it was a very big, like...
Really?
It was a very, like, Free the West Memphis 3 feeling. Yeah. It was a bit... God, I can't think of her name.
But this is more of a, like...
But that was a legit,
like... wrongful conviction kind of thing.
Yes, right. So they should stand out. They should be few and far between.
Yeah.
And, like, gross misuse of the justice system or whatever.
Yeah.
But this guy's just going to town. Yeah. So... Some of the more notable pardons, he pardoned Delmar Parton, who was convicted of murdering his former lover and stuffing her headless body into a 55-gallon drum at a chemical plant in 93, where they both worked. The pardon order mentioned inability or unwillingness of the state to use existing DNA evidence to either affirm or disprove this conviction. So, like...
So they're just saying because they didn't confirm or whatever...
right?
What's the term? Shit. Confirm or
affirm or disprove.
Yeah, there you go.
He also pardoned Patrick Brian Baker, who was convicted of homicide and other crimes in a fatal 2014 home break-in. His co-defendants were not pardoned. Baker's family raised $21,500 at a political fundraiser last year for Bevin, plus $4,000 of a donation by his brother to Bevin's campaign on that same day.
Trace the money, y'all.
The wrong crime was listed on the pardon. Like, on the pardon, he pardoned him of his murder charge, even though it was reckless homicide. Isn't that a pretty fucking big detail? Dude, I feel like that's big enough that would make it not legal.
Yeah. Well, right? Yeah, exactly. Oh, just scratch. Anybody got any whiteout?
Do you guys have another pardon form? I fucked this one up. Sorry about that. Like, what are you doing, dude? Another lovely person that he pardoned was Irvin Edge, convicted of murder and solicitation to murder for hiring a hitman to kill his business partner in 91. Bevin offered no explanation for the pardon, and the hitman who murdered the guy in front of his family at their home is serving a life sentence.
I feel like is there not like a ceiling for the number of pardons, like, I don't know, a year or something?
Also, is there no check in place? Like, is there no one to be like, no, you can't pardon this guy?
Yeah.
seems very like you're playing God almost. Like,
was this dude? What was his position? What was his
governor?
Governor. Okay, got you.
He also commuted the death sentence of Greg Wilson, who was convicted in '87 of the kidnapping, rape, and murder of Deborah Pooley. Bevan said that Wilson's legal defense was inadequate, and that the prosecution and the defense in this case were incompetent. So instead of death, he has a life sentence with possibility of parole.
Man,
what?
This seems like I don't know how this isn't getting more.
Yeah, this press. Is. I hope it does. Like, I hope it gets more.
This seems supremely fucked. If you, and I don't know if you know this or not, but if you get pardoned, is there any way that like that can be pulled?
I feel like that would fall into like a double jeopardy thing, right?
Yeah, I would think you probably could. You can't unpardon someone, but
yeah, I don't think so.
Jeez, dude, that's
and the last one, and certainly not the fucking least one.
Yeah,
he pardoned Micah Schottel, who was sentenced last year to 23 years in prison for raping a 9-year-old child. Bevan wrote that Schottel was convicted of a heinous crime based only on testimony that was not supported by any physical evidence. Hi, hello, yes, I would just like to say right here into this fucking microphone that testimony is evidence, and this guy can go fuck himself. What? But I guess raping a 9-year-old's no big deal, so it's whatever.
Jesus, are you
dude. How do you sleep at night, you motherfucker?
Yeah. Oh. No, I mean, this just...
what?
Yeah.
Also, those were just the summary ones of, I mean, how many did I cover? 400? 4 or 5? And he's done over 400 in 5 weeks?
Jeez, dude.
What are you doing?
Well, no, and honestly, you bring up a really good point that... Like, where is the checks and balance system of, like, state-run government kind of stuff?
And I guess you couldn't put a limit on pardons, because if you said, like, you could only pardon 5 people in a year, like, what if you do have gross miscarriages of justice of 10 cases? I mean, you don't want to put a... But also, like, 400?
Well, yeah, but it seems like that having, like, a ceiling, like, okay, we won't ask questions about the first 50, but then...
Maybe,
You know what I'm saying? But then past that, it's like, you need to come up with some fucking evidence.
Like, there's just... This is weird, man, and that's so many people, and I don't get it. No. I do not get it.
I mean, that doesn't make it... Well, especially, like I said, especially the fact that this dude's on his fucking way out.
Right.
You know, it's like he's just like...
Just burning it down. And you
get a pardon, and you get a pardon, and you get a pardon. I feel like I'm listening to, like, Oprah as governor.
Really weird Oprah.
But
man.
But no, man, that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's super, super kooky.
Ugh.
Well, dude, I'm sorry. I don't have a good segue into this one, but I'm actually really stoked to cover this.
Okay.
So, for anyone that is unaware, so we record on Sundays, and then Frag goes out Mondays, full episode Wednesdays. Yesterday, on Saturday, the 14th, Army and Navy played. Mm-hmm. And in the crowd... let me get the right article up. In the crowd, there were a couple of cadets and a midshipman who held up the whatever. This is the thing that's, well, anyway, they held up the little sign that apparently has been associated with white power and like white nationalism and all that.
I mean,
jazz.
I just think of it as a call to a pitcher in a baseball game. Like, it's just the OK symbol or the... Did you play the game? You remember the game?
No, that's I thought it was just them trolling that it's like, oh,
you just lost the game.
Circle. Yeah, now I get to punch you in the arm or something. But apparently...
Yeah.
Do you know, like, so what I'm doing is I'm putting my index finger and my thumb together to make a circle.
Yeah.
And then I'm, splaying? I don't know, my other 3 fingers. Yeah. So it was like the little circle game that you had to hold it below somebody's waist or whatever the, stupid rules were. Or if you hold it upright, it's literally the fucking OK symbol. Yeah. Okay, that has been around since the dawn of
There's
man.
An emoji of it.
Yeah. And which we covered this actually a little while ago about how 4chan, like, to be honest with you, I love 4chan. And the reason
sometimes do.
Well, the reason that I love 4chan is it is the paramount of how literally someone can take something and misconstrue it,
yes,
and pitch it as this thing that is completely unrelated, in my opinion, and have, get people's feathers ruffled and stuff. Honestly, 4chan is like the big brother to the society as being the little brother, that it's like, quit hitting yourself, quit hitting yourself, quit hitting yourself.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And so basically they're under fire. The West Point cadets and the the Navy midshipman person. Which in the video I would 100% recommend. Check out show notes. Watch the video yourself. Honestly, it made me think of, like, I laughed to myself because I thought of the circle game.
Yep.
But I'm going to quote a user on Reddit who goes by WalsOp1, and I think that they summed it up perfectly how 4chan works and, like, the trolling that goes down.
Oh, I'm excited.
So they said, and I'll just read the entire comment, so bear with me. It kind of, so they were responding to, this other person's comment. I never thought this would get this serious. The circle game. This is some high concept 4chan shit right here. What a magical time to live. So they responded. The WalsOp guy was responding to that. It kind of works like this. 4chan takes a somewhat well-known and non-inflammatory symbol or statement and intentionally turns it into an internet meme with the pretense of controversy for the sole sake of provoking institutions like the SPLC or the Southern Poverty, what's that?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I know it, but I don't know. Yeah.
Oops. Sorry. I know this makes for bad radio. I should have had this pulled up. Southern Poverty Law Center.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Southern Poverty Law Center. Or the ADL, also known as the Anti-Defamation League, who then promptly do exactly as 4chan intends and labeled their harmless symbol as a, quote, hate symbol, despite no actual, quote, real white supremacy uses of that symbol or intent behind it. Then casual instances of that symbol being seeded public get seized upon by the media as 4chan intends, and basically is perceived as racist, despite the offenders often having no idea what the crap the media is screaming about.
Okay, but some of them do. Like, there was, whoever it was, that was, I think, a mass shooter, threw it up in the... You remember that picture?
So, I completely agree with you. Some people do.
Some
but
of them...
the media puts it forth like it's this widely accepted thing that, like, dude, did you see, like, that white neighbor of yours throw up an OK symbol? Right. And it's like, dude, I was just saying, hey, whatever.
Like, I text you the OK symbol as a reply to stuff all the time.
Yeah. And so, I agree. In some instances...
But sometimes they know, but a lot of times it's not a thing.
That's a pretty vast minority in regards to people actually using the OK symbol as a hate symbol.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so the dude basically just wraps up with, and here we are, hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
But I thought that was a pretty good explanation.
Yeah,
as to,
I think so.
I mean, dude, 4chan basically created trolling.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that is where it came about. And I hate to say this, but they're really fucking good at it.
They are good at it.
And they're really good at getting the media just all up in arms about stuff that it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But anyway, so these cadets and midshipmen threw up these symbols, and West Point said that they're going to be looking into it, and we do not know the intent of the cadets. Let's see.
But sometimes I'm also like, what are you doing with the OK symbol? Like, this is a weird time to all of you be throwing that up.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's a very good point. Like, it was just, I don't know. It's like, I think that it's really funny when people just put like this really heavy whatever meaning into literally words and symbols.
Because
literally it's you, not you. People give that, like, people empower these symbols and these words.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the long and the short of it. If you act like it's not a big fucking deal, it ain't a big fucking deal. I promise. You know? Yeah. But then you've got the media, the media is just really good at drumming up, like, you know, sensationalism. And like, you know, like, I don't know. So that was kind of my take. I hear you that, like, some people are fucking using it. Yeah. Well, okay, and this is the other question that I would, I get when I say the other question. I haven't posed one yet. So, here's my question to you. Do you think that if you looked back prior to the media covering this symbol being used as whatever, Nazi or white supremacy or white power, all that stuff. Right. Before that, do you think that it would be difficult to come up with evidence that people were using that widely as a white power or Nazi symbol?
Yeah, probably. But if I saw, say, a group picture of whatever group of people and they were holding up the OK symbol, I would be like, this is some kind of inside joke, or like this means something to them. This is not just a, like, I don't know, maybe if you were those kids that were trapped in that cave and you got out and you all threw up that, like, we're okay, we fucking lived. Like, that might be, sure, you can use the OK symbol, but otherwise, like, the OK thing's a weird thing to put up in, like, a group picture.
Well, and so not to basically just read through the comment section on Reddit, but someone was actually speaking to your point on that. And they were like, oh, is this person playing the circle game? No, because the symbol was flashed to the camera, not a person.
Yep.
Is this person gesturing okay to another person as a form of acknowledgement? No, because the symbol was pointed to the camera, not a person.
Yeah.
And so they go through kind of all these different uses of the okay symbol.
And it's not making sense with any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't.
But
at the
feels
same time,
very...
It's like, if you're flashing it to a camera, I feel like you're playing the circle game with
everyone.
You know? I mean, it's just like...
Okay, but you know you're not... Well, no, they do usually do it kind of down low.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the circle game's over, dude.
I mean, the last time I fucking played the circle game was,
if this was a picture from 1997, I'd be like, oh, they got us.
Yeah.
Like...
And I do have to say, like, even just in this conversation that we're having, dude, obviously, there are people out there that are literally going to use that for the sole reason of trolling and knowing that or that definition of it is out there. Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, I was just playing the circle game. Yeah. When in all actuality, they were just trying to fucking troll.
You know what it reminds me of is when the shocker became such a thing.
Yeah.
It feels very like people because people did that in pictures. Like they'd have like their picture with the mayor and they'd like convince the mayor to do it and tell the mayor it meant like, I love freedom or something. And you'd be like, you got the mayor to do the shocker.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing is it's like, it's I don't know. We live in an interesting time.
We live in a society.
We live in let's just state facts from here on out. We live in a society. It is 2019 for a little bit longer, but yeah. So you know, do I honestly think these guys were flashing it literally to mean white power? I don't think so.
I think it's case by case on who it is and the circumstance.
So the thing that I guess that I'm coming from is the fact that do I think these guys are actual like white power like
probably not
proponents? Do I now taking a step back from that? Were they doing that to get on national TV? Doing that
probably
maybe so.
Sure,
you know
yeah.
And so it's like I don't know. It's just but it's also one of those things that I hate how the media clings on to this stuff. And it's just like, oh my God, our military's inundated with fucking white nationalists, you know? And it's like, I don't really, because 3 people out of everyone in attendance, you know, well, I guess within the camera shot, we'll say 20 people were in the shot. 3 people out of those 20, whatever, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. It's just it's just one of these situations of I think that they drum up, like I have whatever said time and time again. They sensationalize these things. Yeah. Does it exist? Yes.
Sure.
Does it exist to the extent that the media says? Probably not, So, but anyway. So, and somebody else actually said, oh, well, Mila Kunis did that all the time in her things. So does that make her a white nationalist?
Maybe that was just her thing. I don't know.
And that's the thing. And like you said earlier, I agree with you. It's a case-by-case fucking thing.
Yeah, it totally depends on the person.
You holding it up, I'm pretty fucking sure you're not saying white power because I fucking know you. But like, some other person that we have no idea who they are. And that I feel like you could probably pick these motherfuckers out in like a lineup. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anywho.
Well, since we're just foregoing segues at this point, I have something totally unrelated.
Let's do it.
But I like this, and I hate to say it, but it's from Fox News. But honestly, I found it, and I didn't feel like finding it on another source, so whatever is from Fox News. A former vegan influencer spent 30 days eating only meat and animal products and said she felt healthier. So this girl, like, apparently her being vegan is like her whole personality. Like, that's what she's an influencer.
Isn't that like most vegan people?
Well, I know.
I'm kidding. Not hating on veganism by any stretch. Everyone knows the joke.
Okay, but hating on it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, Elise Parker has over 200,000 Instagram followers and over 700,000 YouTube subscribers. And I think her platform is she's vegan.
Yeah. Like recipes and shit.
Maybe I didn't really look, but it's probably. Probably just like a lot of vlogs, I guess. I don't know, but like her thing is like veganism.
Okay.
She said she had some health struggles, and some friends had told her that the so-called carnivore diet has a lot of benefits. She'd been vegan for 4.5 years. This part's a stretch.
Okay.
She also, I had to read her, like, Instagram caption, and it was a damn novel, and it was, ugh. She said the day after she started the carnivore diet, she woke up feeling more mentally clear, focused, wholesome, and healthy than she had in years.
Sponsored by Tyson Foods.
Right? Like, excuse me, what?
This is just screaming native ad.
You ate some goddamn bacon, and now you feel wholesome? Excuse me?
Yeah.
If anything, I probably feel more wholesome when I eat a vegetarian meal.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, so it sounds like her fans are not big fans of this.
Yeah.
The article quoted a couple of the comments from people
yes.
on her YouTube video. I think it was from the YouTube. It may have been from Instagram. Either way, some of her followers were saying that eating vegan's healthier for you, and there was also the whole like, if you had to kill every animal that you ate, you wouldn't be doing this. Yeah. And it was very... I'm probably going to fall down a rabbit hole and start following this girl. And just like...
Just do like, we need to just make a segment for like...
How's Elise Parker doing?
Updates. Parker Patrol, man.
Parker Patrol. I'm writing that down right now. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? That's all I got on it.
So... Actually, I think that's pretty cool that, because I know people that are very big into, like, their diets and stuff like that, and, like, that's, and exercise and all that jazz. Sure. And that's cool. And, and I think that it's kind of cool that she's willing to put the shoe on the other foot, kind of.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not, this sounds, like I said earlier, sounds completely like... whatever, like fucking Tyson Foods
it does
whoever, Pepperidge, or not, is it Pepperidge? No, it's not Pepperidge Farm. What's the meat company? I can't remember. Anyway.
Purdue makes chicken. Are you thinking of them?
No, it's Pepperfield, or it's Pepper something, I thought. But anyway,
there's
it doesn't
Smithfield.
Matter. Smithfield.
Is that who you're thinking of? Yeah.
Excuse me. But this sounds completely.
Oh like man, I just googled her name, and one of the top results is another girl reacting to her going carnivore, and this girl's face is so like icked out. Like it's just
Peloton wife.
Oh, it is Peloton wife. Oh, tiny update on Peloton wife.
What's up?
I saw a thing of her the other day where she said that she basically did the gin ad to kind of poke fun at the whole thing and to let the air out of it, I think she said, because she felt like everybody got up in arms. And she said in a couple interviews, she was like, I feel like that's just my face. And like, my face is what got people all up in arms, because my eyebrows just make me look anxious. Yeah. And I'm like, this poor lady. I know, right? Also, I kind of want to be friends with her.
I actually watched something on Ryan Reynolds. He was on, I believe, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Fallon asked how he was able to get that girl.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds was like, it was actually kind of difficult to get her contact information because once everything happened with Peloton, it was like they made her like disappear almost as like, and obviously he couldn't contact fucking Peloton.
No, they're not going to give you their...
Yeah. So he contacted this chick 36 hours after the Peloton shit happened. Damn. They were running, or they were either recording or
they were
already
starting
in post-production of like his gin commercial.
Man.
So, dude, hats off to like Ryan Reynolds, man. He's got his fucking like whatever thumb on the pulse of society. So.
Man, that came up last night.
Finger.
Well, Ryan Reynolds came up last night at a little friend shindig thing I was at.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was saying, like, man, like, of any famous person, like, who I'd really want to, like, be buddies with, Ryan Reynolds or Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, but also you'd feel like such a dweeb because they are infinitely cool, and you can never be their level of cool.
I'll tell you who actually seems like they would be really fun to just hang out with. It's fucking Seth Rogen.
Oh, my God. I want to not like him, but I love him so much.
He just seems so like wholesome.
He seems like such a good dude, like, and just genuine. Like,
yeah, well, and that's the funny thing is because he was, when we were watching, Allie recommended this show called Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner.
I love Dave Chang. Anything he touches, I'm about.
Dude, it was pretty good. I hate to say this, but the Seth Rogen was by and far the best episode.
And I don't want to like Seth Rogen. I almost skipped the episode. I don't know what my deal is. Why I so much don't want to like the guy.
Yeah.
But I love the guy.
Yeah, he has.
He's buddies with Chang. He's been on a couple other of Chang's shows, and like every time he's on there, I'm like, he's just such a good dude.
Yeah. And but so he was talking about it. He was like, the other thing that I really like about him is it's kind of difficult to find an actor that is, oh my God, what is the opposite of like egotistical?
Oh, just humble.
Just like a humble actor.
Yeah.
And dude, he's like sitting there talking to Dave Chang or whatever, and he's like, I mean, you know, here I am on stage with these actors that are like, I'm just thinking, damn, he's a really good actor. Yeah. And he's like, and I know that I'm not a good actor, and I know they're not thinking of that about me, and that makes me even a worse actor. The fact that I'm on stage, you know, I'm supposed to be reciting my lines, and I'm thinking about how good this guy is at reciting his lines, you know. But
he seems like such a good guy, and not a good guy to try to like prove anything to anybody. Yeah. But like that just really is how he is.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, what do we know? Like, I just see what I see on camera.
Oh, yeah,
like, so who knows? But
yeah,
I think he seems great.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And just a lot of fun. Yeah. Like you just want to sit around and like shoot the shit with him and just like listen to him tell stories.
Another really funny movie I would recommend for all listeners, and Allie in particular, because now that I know that you like Seth Rogen, maybe I can get you to watch a Seth Rogen movie. I believe it's called The End of the World.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of actors playing themselves.
Okay.
And holy shit, dude.
I know of that movie,
or maybe it's just called The End.
It's something like that. This is the end. It's called This is the End. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, dude, it's actually really funny. There's a scene with Michael Cera, and he's like,
I love Michael Cera.
His fucking rocker on cocaine, and he's like snorting coke off like this girl's like ass and stuff, and he's just like going like ape shit. It's pretty damn funny. But
one of my all-time favorite movies is Superbad.
Oh, dude,
I love Superbad. Yeah.
And that was, you know, when Seth Rogen was talking about Superbad, he was just like, dude, this is literally, we just pooled a bunch of like high school experiences from all the guys that were involved in it. Or I think it was mainly just him and like Andy Goldberg. But
who?
Andy Goldberg, not Andy Samberg.
No.
Andy Goldberg. I think he's just a writer.
Oh, okay.
But I say just a writer. That's literally the most important job of a fucking film. But I think that it was basically pooled stories between those two.
Okay.
And like, I mean, it was perfect because it's like, dude, everybody can identify with at least one of the stories in that movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm glancing at the time, and I believe we have arrived.
I think we're there.
All right. Well, thank you for lending us your ear, dear listeners. If you want to get in touch with us, let me tell you how to do that. We can be hit at tetherradio@gmail.com. That is TETHERRRADIO@gmail.com. We are on Twitter at tether_radio, Instagram at tether_radio, Facebook, Tether Radio, one word. And we also have the Tether Radio After Dark group that I need to be more active in. Allie's killing it. Nikki is killing it. So I feel like, honestly, we might as well make like Nikki a moderator in here. But yeah, so we really appreciate you joining us for episode 79 of the Tether Radio podcast. I'm Daniel.
I'm Allie.
And we thank you for your listenership. And we look forward to talking to you guys next week, and have a fantastic one. Take it easy, friendos.
Bye.